Hola, come on, join in. Yes, welcome to another episode of Faith on the Street. Okay, so because we're talking today about youths, in fact, most of the episodes for this month will focus on the youths. So I'm doing this with youths from everywhere. Today I want to talk about Christian youths, going to church, why people are no longer interested. We already had a conversation on Twitter about this, but I decided to still walk into the street and ask questions and find out from youths themselves why they have stopped being interested in the church, the temple itself, right? You hear things like the church is in the heart and all of that. And also the challenges they face. That's what I'm going to be doing today. I am Amanda Elu, and do not touch it because I'm coming back for you. Okay, so I'm with someone here. Yeah, she's like, their son. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm sorry under the sun.
No problem.
Oh my God.
It's stopping me, but no problem.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for the sacrifice. What's your name?
My name is Sandra, or AKA and the Bed.
And the best. I don't know what that means, but okay. So, Sandra, what's up? Do you still go to church?
Yeah, I do. I still go to church.
You do?
Yeah.
Like you went to church this Sunday?
Yeah, I went to church.
And the Sunday before the Sunday?
Yes.
That's good. That's pretty good. We can't say that for a lot of people now. Why do you think some youths are losing it when it comes to coming to the church, the temple itself?
Well, in some cases, some of them are always tired to go to church.
Tired.
Yeah. And then some because they are always judged on the church, like they judge them based on what they do, the bad things they do, so they lose focus in church and they just forget about everything in church, so they stop going to church because of that.
It's still faith on the street, but we are sitting in the streets because it's sunny and it's hot. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
I like the way he said fine.
And you're looking good today.
Oh my God, they keep saying this. Thank you so much. What's your name?
I am Valentine. My name is Valentine.
Valentine, let me ask you quickly. I want to say I should not be asking you this question, but I'm going to ask you this question. When was the last time you went to church?
Last Sunday, I was in church.
He was actually in church, and he even came for the evening benediction. So yeah, you're always there. So do you by chance know why some people, youths and adults, no longer find the church interesting? Somebody mentioned the church as a temple is not it for them. They want to stay in their rooms because they believe God is everywhere. What do you have to say about this?
Well, I think I have various angles where I want to talk about as regarding young people not going to church. But I have to maybe start with the society where I found myself in today, and then the young people living in that same society. Now, among us, the young people, and actually things that happen around us now, I think there is this problem of, is God there? Does he watch us? Does he even know what we are doing? Does he exist? And if he is there, so why do we stress to do this, to find this, to get things that we need? I think that is one of the problems among young people today.
I'm taller than you. Oh no, even after standing, I'm not taller than you.
Oh my God.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. Nice to meet you.
Oh my God, same
You
here.
look so lovely today.
Say it again.
I say you look so lovely.
Thank you. I'm always the one saying it. Nobody used to say it. Thank you so much. What's your name?
My name is God's Will, and God's Will.
Yes, say that again.
No, people usually call me Broken God's Will because I have a lot of. Let's just say I'm extra sometimes.
Broken God's will sounds like someone who's
I'm not
broken. No, not broke. I'm broken, but it's okay. We're all God's piece of wood, right? Broken piece of wood. How are you doing once again?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, the economy is hard, and everybody's going through a lot. A lot is going through us, so yeah. But I'm doing all right.
So, because of this whole thing, are you still going to church?
Yes, I go to church.
Did you go to church last Sunday?
Yes, I did.
The Sunday before last Sunday?
No.
Aha! So let's talk about people, especially the youths who no longer find the church a place where they want to go worship. They believe they could stay anywhere. Some don't even want to stay anywhere. They just don't want to do anything with church. Why do you think it is so?
Okay, I mean, people can have their different reasons for not going to church. For me personally, I don't feel like it's compulsory you go to church every single Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yes, I feel like anywhere you are, you can make it your church because I feel like it's what you do in a place and how you celebrate that makes the whole thing the church. Okay, the church, the thing people look at as the church is just a building for me. Okay, the people that come to the building, what they do in that building, I feel like that is what actually makes it the real church, in the manner of speaking. For me, I can stay in my room, say go through the entire order of mass because I'm a Catholic, so I can stay in my room, go through the entire order of mass in my room, in like with like a peaceful mind. Like I'll be at peace doing what I'm doing, and I feel happy. I feel like I've worshipped God today. Do you get? I get that same feeling when I go to church because most times I go to church just to sing. Singing makes me feel peace. Singing makes me feel closer to God. And the reasons why people don't go to church, I can't really say, but I was opportune to talk to someone I know, someone close to me, and he asked me why I still go to church with everything that happened. So basically, he was narrating his life experience to me. He told me how, because he's effeminate, he told me how he was treated while growing up, how people in church would be like, ah, see this one, a woman rapper, or make a wine, or like different types of names. Like, and he felt like these people are Christians, are they not? So why are they judging me this way? Why are they treating me this way? Because he says every single Sunday he goes to church, he comes back home feeling sad, feeling, downcast. Like, what's the point of going to church if you don't come home with that joy in your heart? He was even telling me that he's not even sure he believes in the existence of a God because with everything that is happening around us, like a God, how can a God exist and just watch people suffer? How can a God exist and just watch people go through everything they go through? So I tried to explain to him that basically what I think is that God gave everyone free will to do whatever they want to do. You get? God gave everyone, okay, do what you want to do. Because I mean, after the whole flood where in the Bible where God got angry, he said that he's never going to repeat such a thing again. So I just felt like now this free will God has given us, everybody does not have the same, like their free will does not influence the environment, the society the same way.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
I like the way she speaks. Yee, I'm excited. Okay, what's your name?
My name is Stephanie, but I'm called Emerald by everybody because that's like a stage name or something.
What do you do?
Oh, I write. I'm like an army boy, a gossip mail.
She is a gossip blogger. Good to see
Not
you.
really that popular, but it's mostly on WhatsApp, my friends and everything, and I argue a lot, so it's just Emerald, Emerald, Emerald everywhere.
And that's what we do on Faith on the Street. We really don't check out for all the popular people because we believe that even in the littlest of places and those corners, there are amazing and unique talents. And it's beautiful to have encountered one today.
Thank you, thank you.
Keep up the good job. Just don't make anybody cry. Because I know how bloggers can be.
I can't make promises. People
Please,
cry normally.
please. Okay, so we're back. We're back to Faith on the Street, talking about today's topic. We're talking about youth. You're a youth. Are you Christian?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Do you still go to church?
Yeah, I go to church every
Every Sunday.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Sunday. Yeah, very sure.
So I see some people who are comfortable living their lives, from Monday to Sunday and again up and, doing whatever it is they're doing, but they don't think that church is, should I say, necessity. I don't want to say compulsory, so it doesn't sound like anyone is being forced to do it. I'm talking about necessity. Some people don't think it's really important. Why do you think it is like this amongst the youths, amongst anybody, as a matter of fact?
First of all, I'll start with defining Christian. It's Christ-like. And for you to be a Christian, you need to act like Christ. So our leaders in the church, the priests, the pastors are giving us a different phase of whatever we are meant to see in the church. You see priests that are homosexuals. You're preaching against homosexuality and you're a homosexual. What do you want me to believe? You're preaching against fornication, but you're sleeping with young women, you're sleeping with married women. What do you want me to believe? You see priests, pastors that are cultists in very high ranks. You see them going to doing several diabolic things, doing rituals, killing people. and you're bringing this message to me and you want me to believe you. So I'm not really going to blame those that don't go to church, because what they've seen is different from what they are preaching. Whatever you preach, that's what you're meant to show people, because they say seeing is believing. It's not like in a time of crisis that Jesus Christ was there but we not really see him. This one, you have to show us what you are meant to, what we are meant to do. You have to show it to us, because it's like the best form of preaching is showing it to people. If you're preaching about humility, you show me that you're humble. If you're preaching about service, you show me that you're actually doing an act of service. You don't give me another thing. You don't serve rice. I don't ask for rice. You don't tell me about rice, then serve me semovita, that kind of thing. So people are actually living in doubt, because what they are seeing, what they are being shown, isn't what they are expecting, isn't what they are talked about, it's not what they are preached. So I'm not really going to blame them.
Hey!
Hi.
Oh my god! I'm not going to say this on camera, but I mean, I'm going to say it on camera. She's my baby, and it's good to see her. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
What's your name?
Chibuzo.
They don't know, so tell them.
My name is Chibuzo.
Chibuzo, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Do you go to church on Sundays?
Yes, I do. I guess.
Every Sunday.
I try.
That's it. That's what I was looking for. Why do you try? Why is it a thing of struggle as far as church is concerned? Why?
It's not really struggle. Oh. It's like maybe you have work or you're not feeling fine, that time of the month or something. That's it.
Okay. So, speaking of imperfections, because you mentioned some of the things as priests and religious, some of them do, right? Are we saying that because of some people's imperfections, we shall ditch God and the house of God, not their house, the house of God?
No, I'm not saying that, but let's look at it as this perspective. A maths teacher enters the class to teach and makes a very, very horrible mistake on that topic. Now you're giving me a wrong something. How are you expecting me to understand this thing you're giving me? I feel like for the fact that you've chosen to be a priest, there's this life you're meant to live. There's this footstep you're meant to show others, to trend on, that kind of thing. You don't choose to be because no one forced you to be a priest. No one forced you to be a pastor.
Let me get it. Are you talking about some priests and pastors who make mistakes, remain in their mistakes, and are ongoing? Because I still believe these priests are human beings and they could make mistakes once or twice or even thrice, just like human beings. Should we exclude this kind of people? Because we have people who are in it and they don't want to go, right? Or are you talking about priests being perfect? You don't have to fail. Never should you fail.
I'm not talking about priests being perfect, but then there's a level of expectation that you're meant to reach. It's just like a parent expecting something from a child. I pay your school fees, I do everything. I'm expecting you to come out very well. You're not meant to be distracted in anything. I mean, these priests, we give them offerings, tithes, and most of the things are used to take care of themselves. You chose this life. We brought you out to lead us. You're not meant to mislead us. You're not meant to lie to us. It's just like you being in a relationship and someone lying to you and expecting you to be good. Even when it's clear that they are lying to you, they are lying to us. They're meant to like show us, tell us the truth and not mislead us. Which is the path you're meant to follow? Is it what you preach to us, or is it what you're showing us? Which are we meant to do? Because you don't lie to me and expect me to still stay in that place where I know every Sunday you come, you lie to me, you collect my money, and you don't show me what I'm meant to do. And at the end, you even judge me. You use me as a topic of sermon when you know that you're not perfect.
If we all decided at that time of the month not to go to church, how many people will be in the church? I'm not judging you, baby girl. I'm just asking. But I feel like when you used to be with your parents, there was no excuse.
I think the only excuse we had was that time of the month. Every other time, you didn't have like an excuse.
But now you have like multiple excuses.
And just that one basic. That's just like the basic one.
So that's just why you don't go to church.
And that's the basic one. Yes, that's the only reason I don't go to church. Apart from that, I go to church.
May God give you the strength when that time of the month emerges.
Amen.
Amen. But we're talking about some other persons who don't have issues with that time of the month. Every time of the month is that time of the month for them, and they do not go to church anymore, but they claim they have a relationship with God, and it's not in my place to decide. But these people don't come to church anymore. They don't want to have any activities to do with they don't want to join in any of the church activities, and they have their reasons and all of that. Do you by chance know what some of those reasons are?
Well, I don't really know, but I could, put something together. One of the reasons I feel people have why they don't go to church is the fact that,
people believe in what you see. So sometimes you go to church and the people who are in church have like very wrong behaviors or tend to be like judgmental. I think that's the word. You're wearing this and they have something to say. You are doing this kind of job and they have something to say. So it makes a lot of people like take two steps back and just no. No, no, let's.
For some people that are more powerful, their free will can affect other people both positively and negatively. For example, take an orphan living on the streets. Yes, that child has free will, but the free will, the way that child will use that free will it affect society the same way a rich person's free will affect society? So I feel like everybody's free will interacts with each other. So if someone that is in a place of power uses their free will for something terrible, for something bad, it affects other people.
All right. Wow. You said you go to church every Sunday.
Yes, I go to church.
And you know these things about priests and pastors, yet you still go to church. What's keeping you?
Okay, I feel like church is not meant to be like, I'm not going to church for that priest. I'm not going to church for that pastor. I'm going to church because of my relationship with God. The church is where I can talk to God freely, like a friend, like a father. So I communicate with him. And because of what someone else is doing will not make me deviate. Because, I come from a very, very good Christian home. To the fact that they call my dad a bishop when he's not even a bishop. And that part I've been shown to tread. And I've been in it, I've seen it, and I've seen things, I've seen miracles, and I believe in it, and I like it, and I enjoy it a lot. So why would I stop going for what a priest is doing? I overlook it. Sometimes I don't even say things that they're not meant to say in church. I overlook it. I pick the ones that are important, the ones that are useful, the one I know that this is the right thing to do, and leave out the ones probably their mistake and their imperfections, because I believe that nobody is perfect. Everybody is imperfect. We all have our flaws. We make mistakes. Yes. So I'll just pick the ones that are good, the ones that are right, the ones that are not, yes, this is what I'm very, very sure of. These ones are the right thing to do, and leave out the ones that are not good.
Yeah.
You were trying to explain that it's not God's fault the world is the way it is.
Exactly. It's not God's fault. It's actually our own fault. God did not give us weapons. God left us with the knowledge, but He did not tell us to use it to kill each other. Okay. Yes. So I just feel like if everybody can actually spread love. Like for me, I used to tell people, leave church first. Leave church. Because I see people that go to church, they come out of church and they still do worse things.
Is this not unfair to everybody who goes to church? Because some people go to church and they don't do all the bad things.
I know it's not everybody's fault. For example, I am also effeminate. So 4 Sundays ago, after Mass, I was talking to one of my friends. Okay, after Mass. So I was telling her about like a photo shoot I was going to do, and it was because of my effeminacy. I thought maybe let the photo shoots be something, let it be something that will portray that effeminate character. You get? So a girl was standing there and she was just like, and I was like, I didn't see her initially. It was my friend. I was like, why? Because in my mind, that was the first thing that came to my head. I was like, are you not just coming out of church and the first thing you do when you're just coming out of church is to start judging other people? Why?
So if I go to church for years and years and then nothing is happening, I'll have to ask myself, what is God actually doing? Like the sermon last Sunday, talking about John the Baptist being imprisoned, and then the Messiah himself going around doing good things, and then him who announced the coming of the Messiah is now in prison, awaiting death. So that doubt in him was like, what is he doing? Is he not the Messiah, or should we look for someone else? That is also what goes in the minds of young people today. Where is God? What is he doing? Why is he wasting time? Okay, I've heard that someone out there is making things go faster and easier. Let's just go for the easier way. That is why you ask someone today, they will tell you, let us live life first. Let us enjoy life first. When that time comes, we'll face it.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. What did you say your name is again?
Stephanie.
All right, Stephanie. I think you already I was going to ask you to give maybe just leave 1 or 2 words of advice for people who are watching, especially people who have left the church. But I think you already said something about you overlooking what's happening. But just in case you've got something else to say to that person who is not going to church for one disappointment or the other.
Okay. my advice to the person is forget everything you see them doing. You see your pastor probably making advances at you as a young guy, as a young girl. You know this is not right, but you're not going to church for that person. You're going to church for you and your God. You are the one benefiting from it. You are the one that is being blessed, not them. They are not, whatever they are saying is not meant to like be your business or whatever. Just focus on the right one, do the right things. Have this intimate relationship with your God. And to be very, very honest, it pays a lot. It pays. For those that feel like going to church and you sit down in your home doing nothing. And one thing is that when you stop going to church, you notice you decline in spirituality. And it's not really good, because sometimes we just go against all these forces that we cannot even see, we cannot even comprehend. So the best thing is to go close to your God, be in a close relationship with Him. Yes, everybody's perfect. You must not be the holiest. You must not be a saint, but at least know your God. Hold your God. Know that whenever you call on Him, He is going to answer you. He will definitely be there for you. That's what I have to say.
This is so nice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So you're saying whatever any person wears into the church, they should be allowed?
No, I'm not saying what everybody wears, but there are sometimes that people tend to wear certain dresses, and because in our African traditional way it is not acceptable at all, they tend to like judge them for wearing them. So sometimes people are like, I don't have this particular dress, or I don't have like a very, very long flowing gown, or maybe my dress has a little sleeve. And if I go to church, the church warden will come and tell me that my dress is this, my dress is that, or even the color. Maybe she's like, the color is too much or something, or my earrings are too bold. Let me just quickly stay in my house and maybe stream the service online or something.
Now, when you see young people and you ask them, why do you do the things you do, especially when it goes to the wrong aspect of it, they will tell you, we still have time. We still have time. Besides, our parents are still alive, and this is their time to repent from what they've done in their days. So our time is also coming. When we are done now, we'll come to that moment and then we'll repent, we'll change. You get? So this is one of the problems.
Wow. This is revealing. We pray for those who don't have clothes to have clothes, especially that kind of clothes that would allow them into the church, or that they would be allowed to wear into the church. We pray they get those clothes anyways. Now, let's talk about you as a youth, right? A Christian youth in this period. Do you face some challenges, especially among non-Christians?
I do. Most times they're usually very doctrinal per se. Like, for instance, there was a time I was doing internship, and GM was a Muslim. So he had this rule that Fridays were half days for us, so that they could, go to the mosque to pray and stuff like that. It wasn't always funny, because when everybody goes, or when the Muslims go to pray, there's just me not doing anything. And it made me on Fridays not productive and not come to work. And if you don't come to work, that's a problem, because you have a query. So it was a little problem, and this particular setting too was somewhere in the north. So having the dress challenge of you having to wear hijabs, and they are not really strict about it, but then they have like, okay, even let us talk about meat. They tell you on certain days you don't wear meat, but we don't eat meat, you don't, but we Christians, it's usually during Lent we observe such things. So when it comes during like periods that are not Lent, you're like, nah. So it's actually a big problem.
Actually, there are some Christians who don't eat meat on Wednesdays and Fridays, but let's not say that right now. But I mean, just for mortification.
Now, another thing I want to talk about the issue with young people now is interest. There is this thing about youthful exuberance. You get? The energy we give out as young people now comes with this, there is this energy, this freedom, and then rebellion too. Yeah, it is one of another factors. For instance, when you are at home with your parents, and you know that your parents always go to church, you don't miss mass. So you make sure that you are always awake to prepare and go to church with them, because you know that they will lash out on you if you don't. And then you find yourself in a situation where they are no longer around you. Wow, this is fun. You see, so you be like, that rebellion comes. You don't go to church. You just want to let me see what it feels like when these people are not here. So since nobody is going to police me about, let me just relax.
Another reason I feel people too don't really go to church is people have this feeling that people in the church, what's the word again, maybe they are too much. They tend to like not say what they do, or they are just in your
Hypocrites.
yes, hypocrites. They are just in your face, so they're like, no, I'd rather worship God from far than to go. People say this, worship God from far, like outside the church, than to go into the church. And that's it.
So, I don't actually. Sometimes it doesn't always seem like it is what happens in the church that draws people away from God.
Oh, okay.
You
So you're
get-
not of the opinion that it's in the church. Whatever is chasing them is in the church. It's outside the church.
It is outside and within them.
Within them.
Yeah, because I tell people you don't do this because you are watching or people are watching you. You do it because you want to do it and because it is what you're supposed to do. This is duty. You are obliged. You're not doing it for fun. You get? There are some things that you do to gain happiness from them, and there are some things that have to direct your life. So you don't. You have to do them. It's just like something you must do.
And church is one of them.
Yes, it's not. I won't say church is one of them. Being close to God is one of them.
Being close to God is one of them. I want to stop here because it sounds like a philosopher. I mean, I'm enjoying this, but I want to save it for my next episode. Thank you so much, Val, for this. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Oh my God! Let's get it straight. Effeminate people. I don't like to use that word because it's seeming like it's a bit negative, but that's how to explain. Yeah, when a guy acts like a girl. I'm not talking of the sexuality. I'm talking of people who are born like this. I mean, I've encountered some of them. I've encountered many of them, and I don't know why anybody is stigmatizing. I don't know why anybody should be. There are girls who naturally are tomboys, and there are guys who are naturally like. I just want to make it clear to you so you don't get confused and think. Don't mix this up with something else. This is what it is, and why should you discriminate?
So that's just it. So he kept telling me about how the wars are happening. So I kept explaining to him that you can't actually blame God.
Okay.
Because if God decided to come down and influence everything everybody's doing, we are no different from puppets. We are no different from robots. And I'm sure the reason why God gave us our free will, gave us our intelligence and wisdom is to use it. If he decides to come down and start telling us that, okay, do like this, what's the point?
I like how God's will has, moved a little bit from the conversation to another real-time, big deal conversation, which is about free will. I think we should have that conversation another day because it's amazing. And just before we end it right now, I want to ask you, I'm sorry, by the way, for the treatments. Humans are humans.
right.
I make mistakes too. People make mistakes, and we just know that thing happens when you see someone who's of the same sex and is acting like the other person. You kind of raise. It takes a lot of open-mindedness and carefulness. You have to be sure what you actually are, against before you do whatever it is. So I'm sorry on behalf of the persons who are acting that way.
I try as much as possible to spread love wherever I go, spread joy and happiness. At least let you see the glory of God in my life. Because I feel like in the Bible, if you go through the Bible, almost every single mention of God is affiliated with love. It's affiliated with charity, it's affiliated with hope, it's affiliated with beauty. So I just feel like no matter what you are doing, whether you go to church or not, just try. Because I feel like if everybody actually shows love to their neighbor the way they say they show it, because people preach that, okay, love your neighbor as you love yourself, but they don't do that. They preach it, but they don't do it. But I feel like if everybody spreads that love, that joy, that happiness, that gloriousness, like to the environment, things will be better.
When I mentioned challenges, I was thinking about, we are human beings first before anything, right? And I know issues of sexuality, issues of compliance to certain lifestyle, But as Christians, because we know the 10 commandments and we follow the 10 commandments and some other things, we are taking a back. We don't want to do some of these things. And then sometimes we lose friendships. Sometimes we're seen as boring. I don't know if you encounter some of these things. I just wanted to share because someone might be watching this, a Christian. Maybe it could be one why they're not even coming to church, trying to run away because they just can't stand it anymore. Do you have some of those challenges?
Not really. Not really. Because I feel as an individual, when you have your values, you're supposed to like stick to them no matter what happens. If you're saying you're not doing this, you're not doing it. And it's only in very, 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 very rare circumstances that you should, bend such rules and stuff like that. So I feel like with human beings, you should be principled, and principled is key. So I don't really have like such.
Principle is key. Thank you so much. It was good to do this with you.
Thank you.
We're going to do a lot of this together again.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I was going to ask him his challenges as a Christian youth, but I think he already has challenges as a Christian among Christians. And I mean, but do you want to share some of your challenges amongst other people as a Christian youth?
As a Christian youth, I've not really faced challenges with people that are not really Christians. Actually, I've actually gotten more acceptance from them because I'm not a closed-minded person. I try to understand where this person is coming from. I don't just wake up and be like, you don't go to church. No, I'm not that kind of person. I try to understand, okay, why don't you go to church? Okay, you explain to me. I tell you my own experiences. Okay, you might say you don't believe in God. I tell you I believe in God. Okay, I'm not trying to influence you. If it's not something you're comfortable with, I won't force you. Do you get? I won't force you. I cannot come and start condemning you for not going to church or demonizing you for not going.
So you don't get people who get to ask you, hey, you're in a relationship, you're not doing sex before marriage, some of this pressure. Are you even in a relationship?
Exactly, that's what I was going to say.
Thank you so much.
First things first, I have to be in a relationship to actually think about it.
Thank you so much. So there are 1,001 challenges, but thank you so much for doing this. God's will, I appreciate you. God bless you. But quickly, why didn't you go to church last Sunday?
Okay, the reason I didn't go to church last Sunday was I was depressed and I didn't want to spread my negative energy to other people.
Well, it's not about people. You would have come to Jesus.
I didn't want that crowd around me. I get triggered when people are around me when I'm in that kind of mood. So, I didn't want to just lash out at somebody unnecessarily because when I'm in that kind of mood, slight things trigger me. So I didn't want to carry that bad energy towards that place where people are joyful, singing, and then I'll just be moping and lamenting and being angry for no reason.
The next time you're depressed, I hope it does not happen. There's no next time. But if it mistakenly happens again, just come to the church. Come and sit by me. Don't worry. I'll keep up with the energy because I think God is going to soak all of the negativity and give you something joyful.
Okay.
I hope you're better now.
Yeah, I actually do feel better. I feel very happy today and amazing.
Do you want a hug?
I'm sitting beside a very lovely lady today, so why won't I be happy?
Do you want a hug? Oh, so cool. Thank you.